Oh crap, he's making Tri-Brigade again. Hello, my name is Sarak, and today I'm bringing you another Tri-Brigade build, because we have 2 Starling back, so let's do it. Apologies if my voice sounds a bit funny, I've had this horrible cold for the past 2 weeks, so you're just going to have to deal with it. So, let's get into the profile. We start with 3 Tri-Brigade Fractile. You can send this to from your hand or field to the graveyard, send a level 3 or lower beast, beast warrior or winged beast from the deck to the grave. It can pitch Tri-Brigades, it can pitch Lyriluscs that you can then summon back, and then it has the Tri-Brigade effect where you can banish any number to summon a link monster with that same link rating. It's a beast warrior, so it's searchable by Tenki, which we now have 3 of as well. Yeah, very simple, very nice Tri-Brigade card. 3 Nerval. This provides us a bridge between the Tri-Brigades and the Lyriluscs because it's a level 1 winged beast. When it goes to the graveyard, it searches a Tri-Brigade monster, and it has the same sort of link summoning Tri-Brigade effect as all the others do. Very, very cheap. Makes your Lyrilusc Xyz monsters can be searched by the Lyriluscs, can be searched by the Tri-Brigades. It provides you that bridge between them. 2 Kit. Kit is an extra Foolish Burial from them. If it goes to the graveyard, it dumps any of them. It has the summoning effect. It's a beast. Yeah, we're not playing Rescue Cat or the Spright variant, so we don't need as many of the level 2s as the other builds. But still, very, very strong card. Gives us an extra name essentially for free because it puts another one in the graveyard anyway, so there's no downside from dumping this one first. And 2 Keras to round out the Tri-Brigade core. This one can summon itself from the hand by sending a beast, winged beast, beast warrior, and then it has the Tri-Brigade effect to summon a link monster as well, like all the Tri-Brigades do. And if you've watched any Tri-Brigade videos before, you know this. And if you've watched any Tri-Brigade videos before, you know that you should have bought this core by now, because this core has been good for 3 years. For our Lyriluscs, we play lots of them. We play 3 Warbler. Warbler summons itself from the hand and then can summon a Lyrilusc from the hand or graveyard if you control no monsters. So it's a free Starling just on its own, or any other Lyrilusc Xyz monster. Three copies of Sparrow. If it's summoned, you get to search a level 1 winged beast, so this can get you through to Nerval as well as through your more Lyrilusc plays. Also prevents anything from being targeted, which can stop things like your recital from being impermed or veiled. So just very, very nice for that effect. And the Lyriluscs are all dirt cheap, so again, no excuse. 2 copies of Sapphire Swallow. This can summon itself and another winged beast monster from the hand, so this can summon out Nerval if you control a winged beast monster, like Nerval. And then if a winged monster is summoned with this card as Xyz material, you can then attach an extra card under it as Xyz material, really good for buffing up a Recital or Nightingale, which you're then going to turn into a Zeus. We then have 2 copies, oh, one's upside down. 2 copies of Wagtail. Wagtail, if it's special summoned, gets to search a Lyrilusc spell or trap, which will be Bird Call for us. And then if it's in the graveyard, we can also attach it to a Lyrilusc monster as material. Again, buff up a Zeus, buff up an Ensemble Robin. Very, very useful in that regard. And then finally, we have 2 Beryl Canary. Canary gets to summon a Lyrilusc monster back from the graveyard, but then will lock you into Xyz monsters for the rest of the turn. You can do link plays first, but if you commit to the Beryl Canary, now you're in Xyz plays. This makes you Zeus really, really easily going second, is a really nice follow-up to have in your hand going second. Also prevents control of card switching, which doesn't come up very often, but does sometimes. Hand traps, we're playing 3 copies of DD Crow, because it's a level 1 winged beast, so we can search it. So you should always play at least one DD Crow, I am of the opinion, in Bird Up. It's not as good as it used to be because Bestials are around, but sometimes stopping the tier player from fusing is more important than that. And it's just been reprinted, so it's nice and cheap. Three copies of Bird Call. This is an incredible spell for Lyriluscs. Search a Lyrilusc, either putting it to hand or grave, and then you get to summon another Lyrilusc from your hand with a different name than the one you searched. Phenomenal card. It's extension and searching all in one. It puts them either where you want them, not necessarily always in the hand or always in the grave. So it's just really flexible in that regard as well. 3 Tenki. Tenki searches Fractal. People aren't playing Ash nearly as much as they were, but it's still good Ash bait as well if you open it. It's a send for things like Double Dragon Lords as well in the later stages of the game. Just very, very simple card. I'm really glad it's back at 3 now. Three Dark Ruler No More, still one of the strongest going second cards ever printed. Lots of people playing Triple Tack and Lightning Storm. This deck's a little bit more expensive, so I'm playing Dark Ruler because it's much, much cheaper. If you have Triple Tack, Lightning Storm evenly matched, feel free to play those instead. But Dark Ruler is cheap, very, very good at cracking gummy boards in just one card. And yeah, the fact that it can't be responded to is still really, really nice. For our power one-offs, we have one Called by the Grave. Yeah, Called by the Grave is still amazing. It stops your opponent from using Bestials. It forces your opponent to use their tier stuff when they don't want to, or stops it in their tracks, stops the Ishizu stuff. Very, very, very strong. It can be used as a pseudo impermanence if there's something on the field that they've already got in the graveyard. Again, remember it negates for a full turn cycle. Foolish Burial, dump a kit, get your combo rolling straight away. Dump a Nerval, get whatever dry beast you need to your hand straight away. Helps fill up the graveyard. Put a Lyrilusc in the graveyard for Canary to revive. The combos with Foolish go on and on. It's just a really, really flexible card. You don't have to use it turn 1 if you don't need to. It's good in all stages of the game, as long as you have something to pair with it. One for one. Again, this card is incredible in this deck. Nerval, obviously, is a level 1. All the Lyriluscs are level 1. All of their effects trigger on special summon. There is no downside. We don't care about dumping stuff in the graveyard. We usually want stuff in the graveyard, either to be revived by Lyriluscs or to banish with our Tri-Brigades. And for our traps, we have 2 Infinite Impermanents. Still the best single trap in the game. Target something, negate its effects. Negate the whole column if it's set. Can activate from the hand, turn 1. Just an incredible card for interruption, either going first or second. And then finally we're playing Revolt. Again, Revolt is a really, really good card, and because we can't play things like Access Code because it's expensive, we have to find other ways. Some decks cut the Revolt. I'm keeping the Revolt in because I think it's a really nice card and just gives you another flexible way of ending your combo. And I think going +4 on your opponent's turn is really fun. So yeah, it's soul charges. Just remember, you can't summon links you summoned with a Tri-Brigade effect, and then it link summons. Usually you're going to make Shuraig to banish something, and then you'll get all your Tri-Brigade effects as well. For our extra deck, this is really, really tight because of all the Lyriluscs and stuff we need to fit in. So we're playing 2 copies of Omen. We will go through 1 on our turn and then use the other for Revolt. Because the search effect on Omen is incredibly powerful, allowing you to search basically any monster in the deck. And obviously non-targeting banish is really, really strong, and it's a 3k body for ending games. We then play one Ferrigite, extension from the hand, and some nice hand sculpting. It's not as important in the pure or the Spright builds because we don't need as many Link 2s. And we have much less space in the extra decks. The Lyriluscs take up a lot more space, so we only need to run one, but you will go through this pretty much most games. One Bearbrum has 2 incredible effects. Discard 2 cards, get a banished level 4 or lower beast, beast warrior or a wing beast, special summon it, brings back Lyriluscs, brings back Tri-stuff that you can then banish to use their effects again, and puts them back in the graveyard as well. Just remember, this can only be made with Tri-Brigade monsters, and if you use its search effect for Revolt, you can only summon Tri-Brigade monsters for the rest of the turn. So that's really, really important. Just remember, all of the cards lock you in slightly different ways, such as the way the Tri-Brigade monsters, when you use their banishing effects, you can only use Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monsters as materials for things. But yes, very, very flexible card. You won't use it all the time, but it gets you to Revolt, it gets stuff back from the banished zone, and it fills up your graveyard as well. One Double Dragon Lords, still very, very good. Quick effect bounce is really, really nice in a game where Tear obviously just wants to stick stuff in the graveyard as much as possible. Bouncing something like their Kaleido Heart or their Roll Coloss to stop them from putting it into the bin, or their Kaleido Heart so they can't do the swap out from early in mill 8. Hraesvelgr, it's graveyard hate, it shuffles something back into the deck. Just remember, don't use this when Perlorino is on the field, you'll be very, very sad. But it's very, very nice in the regards that it is graveyard hate in a very, very graveyard-focused meta. It's kind of like a mini Ishizu card. And if your opponent has no monsters in their graveyard, which they may not, if they keep shuffling stuff back and banishing it, then it becomes a game-ending threat very easily. One Appaloosa, still the best turn 1 Link 4 you can make. We can make a 3 or 4 map Appaloosa very, very easily in this deck, and it just means that your opponent now has to commit resources to outing this, and hopefully you have lots of other things on the board that can back it up. Just remember, it's a fairy. You cannot make it if you've used Bearbrum's effects and so on, so just be careful with where you make this, because it's not a beast, beast warrior, wing beast. One Almirage, sometimes you have clunky hands and you have to open with Almirage. It sucks, but it's the way you unlock those clunky hands. Utopic Draco Future package, summoned with 2 monsters of the same rank, and then you overlay Draco Future. It's a negate, it steals something, and it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's a really, really strong card that this deck can make very easily because we play lots of rank 1s. Two copies of Starling. This card being at 2 is the whole reason the deck is much more playable now. It's a non-once per turn search, so every time you summon a copy of this, you can search with it. Also has the very funny effect of inflicting all battle damage to your opponent, so you can force some draws and things in, or make your opponent win, lose in time and so on with this card. One Ensemble Robin. This is another one of our interruptions we can put up. Gains 500 attack for each material. If your opponent summons a monster, detach a material from this card and bounce it. And then if it goes to the graveyard, you get to add back a Lyrilusc. So it recycles, it's an interruption, and it gets big very easily. One Assembled Nightingale. This also helps you win in time because it can attack directly. It can be summoned with any number of level 1 monsters. So it's very good for making a big Zeus, and can also prevent you from taking damage, again, in time. And then finally, we have the Zeus to slap over it. I can't fit Downerd in as well, because there is not space. So we're just playing the Zeus. Most of the Lyriluscs can be made with multiple materials anyway, and we have lots of things to add materials onto them from the graveyard. So we can quite often put up a format Zeus anyway. It's still the best Xyz monster in the game, outside of perhaps Abyss Dweller. Just being able to nuke the field as a non-once per turn quick effect is incredible, and I can't believe this card actually got printed. So that is the deck. I'm sorry my voice sounds a bit crap at the moment, but anyway, that is the deck for you. You've seen Bird Up before. Please, 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 if you're going to take this deck to an event, learn how to play it first. Do not end on Appaloosa Pass with this deck. This deck can put up 7, 8, 9 interruptions really, really easily. Do not mess it up and just end on Double Dragon Lord's Revolt or Appaloosa Pass, please. There is so much more this deck can do than that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the deck, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.